Hi everyone, this week we have a great episode featuring my favorite topic, food. But first, last week I challenged you to set up one of 4 Fitbit challenges with your friends as well as get your 10,000 steps per day. After 2 weeks, I hope that you're having fun with this and that your Fitbit is inspiring you to move. It absolutely is for me, and I've even started to notice some changes in my body. If you're meeting your goal or you're close to it, congratulations on putting the health of your body first. Now it's time to take things one step further. Hi, I'm Elisa. I'm a 34-year-old Canadian woman. In 2009, I weighed 228 pounds. Through healthy diet and exercise, I lost 65 pounds, and now I've discovered the perfect training buddy to help me lose the last 10. This little gadget is kicking my butt and motivating me 24/7. Welcome to My Fitbit Story. Several years ago, I weighed over 225 pounds. And during my weight loss journey, the biggest mistake that I made was that I ignored the effects that food was having on my body. I also thought that exercise would be enough. Now, don't get me wrong, exercise is pivotal for your overall health. But for me, I was really disrespecting my body with my food choices. I did a lot of research on diets, fasts, and cleanses, and I even did a ton of them along the way. They all promote the healthy, clean eating type lifestyles. Upon fulfilling the duration of the diet, I always felt fantastic, but then I quickly returned to my old eating habits. Sound familiar? What this process taught me was that diets, fasts, and cleanses were not working. What I needed was a complete overhaul. I started by changing my perspective on food. I realized that my physical body's needs are very different than my emotional needs, so I separated them. And I started to fuel my body with fresh food, vegetables, fruit, meat, fish, with the occasional bowl of chips diet. That brings me to my definition of moderation. Moderation for me is 1 item per week. Not 1 meal, not 1 cheat day, just 1 item. This was difficult for me at first, but I quickly became accustomed to it, and now I feel absolutely amazing. So you may be wondering, where does the Fitbit fit into all of this? Well, part of my research included calorie counting. I thought it would be a neat exercise to track my food, but when I started, I quickly realized how much I was actually eating. My calorie intake was an eye-opener, to say the least. A fantastic feature with the Fitbit app is that it provides a leading system to help you track what you're eating and how much you're eating. Fitbit has put a lot of research into their food plan, which is located right on your dashboard. With this tool, you can easily log your food and track your calorie intake. I love the calorie tracking with the Fitbit. It lets me know whether I'm over, under, or in the zone with my weight loss goals. It also uses a sophisticated formula to forecast just how many calories I can eat in a day based on my movement. And since it's constantly tracking my movement, you can't get a more accurate prediction. Once I started to track my food, I ran into a few roadblocks. The biggest was eating out. Restaurants can disguise high-fat, high-calorie foods with fancy names and healthy pictures. Salads are often thought of as healthy, but you'd be surprised at what's hiding in the dressing, how large the cheese portions are, and how the croutons or proteins are prepared. Restaurant salads can be 2,000 calories or more, so be careful and do your research. Here are a few tips I follow when eating out. Step 1, find a staple restaurant where you know the quality of the food is top-notch. My favorite place to dine is Ottawa's newest, freshest, Pure Living restaurant, Pure Kitchen. Everything on the menu is organic, energizing, and rejuvenating fuel for your body. Step 2, if you're not the one selecting the restaurant, be sure to check out their menu online before you go. I pre-select a few meal options so that I'm not tempted during mealtime. This is a super important step for me to stay on track. And step 3, peer pressure is very real, and oftentimes people feel threatened when their friends start making healthy food choices. Don't fall into peer pressure and stick with your plan. And on the flip side, don't judge others for what they're eating. It has nothing to do with you. Remember, you're eating for yourself, not for them. My weekly report really helps me to understand the relationship between calories in versus calories out. If you look at the food tracking, this week I burned 19,075 calories and consumed 13,786, which leaves me with a deficit of negative 5,250 calories. Each pound is approximately 3,500 calories, so I'm right on track with my goal of losing 1.5 pounds per week. The number under the calories in versus calories out indicates how many more or less calories you need to meet your goal for the next week. Mine is negative 39, meaning I was under by a few and I could have eaten 39 more calories and still achieved my goal. If your number is in the plus, let's say plus 200, Fitbit is just letting you know that you may be 200 calories over meeting your goal that week. In other words, you want this number to be as close to zero as possible. You might also notice that I nailed my step goal for a third week in a row, and that I also lost 2.3 pounds. I'm really starting to see some great results. My body is feeling great, and I'm motivated to build on this going into next week. I hope this episode has inspired you to take a look at how you're fueling your body. This week, I challenge you to hit your 10,000 steps per day, as well as log your food for the entire week. If you'd like to take this further, join me in eliminating refined sugar completely from your diet. Be sure to follow the calorie intake provided from your Fitbit app. The goal is to bring awareness into what you're putting into your body and to see how many calories are in your favorite foods. You might start to think twice about some of those options and replace them with healthier alternatives. Well, that's it for now. Be sure to tune in next week where we dive into some other features, such as sleep tracking, fluid consumption, and exercise tracking. Thanks for watching and happy stepping.